Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So today I want to talk a bit about ROMs and emulation, and mostly about uh, their interaction with the homebrew community as well as the retro gaming community in general. Now, I know that this topic it pops up every once in a while from a lot of YouTubers, just a lot of people in general on like Facebook forums or on Reddit or whatever. Even recently, there was some news about some kind of card that you can use for the Switch, or that's coming out for the Switch. That's gonna have like every single Switch game on it, or something like that, or give you the ability like a flash cart for the Switch, which is a pretty modern system. Especially for people like me, it's a very modern system. And I would never expect to be able to just go on a website and just download, the latest games for the Switch. I know that if I want to play things like the new Zelda game or whatever, I'm gonna have to pay for it. I'm gonna have to, whether I'm gonna get a physical, little card thing that they have, or I have to go on the Nintendo website and pay them and download the game. And then what will happen is that I'm going to get this game that's going to go right into my system, and it's going to stay there. I can't just take a card and just stick it into my Switch and copy it over, then go over to my computer, put it onto the computer, and then make it available for the whole world. It doesn't work like that. And we don't expect to be able to do that. Like with modern games, even the Xbox, PlayStation, we all know that the proper way to do it is you have to go and you have to buy the disc, you pay the money, and you get the game. And of course, a lot of people like to talk about piracy and emulation, and kind of put it all together as if you are going to emulate, is it stealing? And so when I'm talking about emulating, like using ROMs, typically people my age or people who play the games that I play, we're playing games that are like 30 plus years old. Games that are on like the Atari 2600, the Nintendo, Intellivision, ColecoVision, pretty much everything that's up there in that my wall unit, in plastic and in circuit boards. I'm gonna also have like the ability to get a ROM and play it on, say, a PC or something like the At Games systems, where you get to put the card in there and play like all your favorite Atari 2600 games. And these games are like way past their ability to really be generating money. All of the developers and producers have all been long paid for those games. Now, this doesn't mean that circulating ROMs is necessarily a right thing to do, but in most cases, these ROMs are put available almost everywhere on the internet. People know where to get them. Even the Atari Age website had almost every single ROM available for a period of time. And they're putting out these devices like the Atari 2600 Plus that can play ROMs, that type of thing. So ROMs in general are kind of a common thing, and we all kind of understand how they work. Now, when it comes to people like, or the part of retro gaming that's the homebrew community, that's where things get messy. And like to make a brand new game today, it takes money, it takes time. You got to have developers, you got to have like the programmers. You still got to pay people to do the box art. Some people will do this stuff for free or as a hobby on their spare time if they want. But in most cases, these people are getting paid, and it costs quite a bit of money to put together a really well done game for, say, the Intellivision or the Nintendo. And you got to keep in mind that these people are often working on their spare time as kind of like almost like a side job or a side hustle, or like something to make a little bit of extra coin. And so when these games get released, people got to be very protective of them. It's not something that you just want easily just get spread around the internet. Now, most recently, Intellivision Collector, which is the website that I had my games. I had my Keystone Cops game on there, and Fast Food Plus, and a bunch of other people like Electronite, they had some of their games up there. A bunch of other, programmers and stuff had their games up there. And they got the website got to a point where they're like, okay, we're only going to, carry games that we have exclusive rights to. And so that kind of said, okay, well, everybody's going to have to take their game back. Essentially, they're not going to handle that anymore. And so it kind of left this kind of, okay, now people need to figure out where we're going to host our games and how we're going to do it. And Electronite found out that, because I saw a posting on Facebook from William from Electronite, he was kind of annoyed that he found out that a bunch of the Electronite ROMs were purchased and distributed freely. Now, what happens there is you've now kind of ruined it for the people that are relying on that ROM to kind of make a little bit of money. And I know that in the beginning, when I remember talking to William a while ago, and he was really adamant about not even releasing ROMs. In fact, the only way he wanted to release ROMs is if you had one of these, an LTO flash card for the Intellivision. And what would happen is the game would get encoded and would only work on this cartridge on a real Intellivision. I could not dump it onto anything else. I could not put it on my computer and share it. And that was a way to protect it. Because really, once you put the ROM out there, if I make my ROM available for download for anybody, and I'm charging money, nothing's going to stop the guy who buys it from now taking that ROM and putting it on a free site, or throwing it somewhere and saying, hey, everybody have at it. I paid the $15, you guys get it for free now. And that's just going to, it kind of takes you back to the whole thing about the music sharing, back with the Napster thing, when Metallica, or Lars Ulrich from Metallica, went up against Napster, because it's like we would put the song out and then all of a sudden people are just downloading it in seconds. Yeah, that's the internet, and we have to deal with that. And it gets difficult for like the smaller, more independent people who program, like someone like me, who wants to make my ROMs available, but also have to have that kind of fear that, the moment I say I put it on my website, what's to say somebody else isn't just going to slap it on their website for free? One person pays $15. You get a bunch of people together, they all buy one ROM, and then they all share it, and it's now what's going to happen? Now, the only thing I can say towards that's of some value is that I know that a lot of people are not like that. They do want to support the developers and the programmers, and $15 to ask for a ROM is not a lot of money. I mean, to buy the game, to get it like this in the box with the cartridge and the manual and make it look all nice, yeah, you got to pay a pretty good coin for that. You're going to be paying pretty good amount of money. So $15 for the ROM is a pretty good value if you think about it. But at the same time, you got to make sure that this person who downloads is not just going to be like, here you go. And there are like little tricks that I know some people do where they put the programmer, or the programmer puts the person's name, say, on the title screen before they sell them the ROM. They say, okay, here's your ROM. In fact, that's how which one was it? I know I had one like that. I don't think it was D2K. That's it. The programmer, Carl Mueller Jr., he sent me the ROM, and he put my Brian's Man Cave moniker on there. And so basically, if I were to go and release that to the public, people would see my Brian's Man Cave there, and they would know that I was the one that let that ROM go. Now that's one way of doing it, obviously. I mean, I'm starting to consider selling my ROMs myself, and I'm thinking, I can kind of do that too. If Joe Bob wants to buy a ROM off me, I can go on the title screen and be like, this ROM was for Joe Bob. And, I have to customize every single time then. So if I sell to 15 people, that's 15 times I have to customize the code a little bit, just to make sure that I put that little piece in there. Now, is that really going to discourage people? I mean, the people that really want to post this for free and are not going to give a crap that their name's going to be there as kind of a heroic symbol, as William also kind of mentioned in his posting, that the person that did this, that took all the ROMs and made it available, kind of made themselves out to be some kind of hero or Robin Hood or something, like, hey, look, I bit the bullet, I paid a little bit of money, and now you guys can have it for free. But I really think that there's a lot of great people out there, like the YouTuber, the Intellivision Gamer. I know he is adamant about backing up people who actually program and put their games out, and he legitimately wants to pay for it. He doesn't want it for free. So it's kind of like this natural balance of, what do we do? Like, how do we control the whole emulation ROM thing? And it's, like I said, you can go this direction, but this requires a little bit more to it to put encoding on there. In fact, Left Turn Only is the only person that can do it. So I don't know. I don't know where we're going to go from there. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to have that discussion because it is an interesting topic. Emulation and ROMs are always going to be a big thing for retro gamers. It's not going to go away. It's just going to, as the physical media disappears, as we want to have these games in our collection, they're going to shrink eventually. So, digital is where it's always going to be at. This is always going to be a thing. Anyways, let me know what you think. Throw some comments down below. I hope to get my games available on my website very soon. If you want to check them out, I have a page set up, briansmancave.com. You can go there right now and you can see what I've set up. And, I'm hoping to start actually selling some of my games as well. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Hope you subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.